Hey, hi, good morning, everyone. And this is our introductory session of our podcast. I'm Colonel Shubhajit Naha, uh, a CISSP retired from the Indian Army. And with me today is Love Johar. Okay, Love is our Associate Director, and he takes care of our GRC mentoring and GRC vertical. Right. So we thought that, the whole world is podcasting. Why not us? And that's why we took a decision कि we should also start our daily podcast. So for our Hindi viewers, मैं थोड़ा सा हिंदी में बोलूँगा कि मैं कर्नल शुभजीत नाहा हूँ और मैं प्रोटेक्ट एकेडमी का फाउंडर हूँ और मैंने ये सोचा कि सब पॉडकास्ट कर रहे हैं, क्यों ना हम भी पॉडकास्ट करें। हम काफ़ी बेनेवोलेंट काम कर रहे हैं सबकी बेनिफिट के लिए कि इंफॉर्मेशन सिक्योरिटी इंडस्ट्री क्या है, लोगों को कैसे समझ में आएगा कि कैसे अपना करियर बनाएं इंफॉर्मेशन सिक्योरिटी में, हाउ टू मेक आवर careers in information security. So I founded the Protect Academy in 2023 formally. However, I started this particular, I'll say, initiative way back in 2021 when I started teaching information security concerns to a lot of uh, military transitioning uh, personnel who wanted to come to information security, and I wanted to impart that knowledge, that how I made my transition from that. What happened was I was able to impart some more knowledge to the general everyone, and that's how Protect Academy came into picture, wherein we you know let the academy roll out so that we could onboard more mentors like Love and Debashish and Ajit, and we can make some contribution to the society, to the growing needs of information security today. So that is the main thing why we started the academy. Over to you, Love.
Yeah, yeah. Hi, sir. First of all, thank you so much for agreeing to this podcast. Actually, Naha sir is so busy; he does not have any time. It was very hard to convince him to get on this podcast because of his daily, schedules and classes. So, first of all, thank you so much for being on this podcast and spending your time over here. And actually, he is so much occupied in his day to day. इतनी सारी क्लासेस हैं, इतना सारा प्रोजेक्ट्स हैं, ही हैज सो मच टू डू. सो उसके अलावा गेटिंग टाइम फॉर दिस पॉडकास्ट इज अगेन अनदर प्रोजेक्ट फॉर हिम. तो इसलिए
Yeah,
थैंक
that's
यू सो
the
मच. या
reason. The reason to select a time of 7 a.m. was okay.
या
This is the only time we have got,
या
probably, right?
या राइट राइट सर. तो सर सबसे पहला सवाल पूछना चाहूंगा सर, एक बहुत बेसिक सा कि व्हाई प्रोटेक्ट एकेडमी सर.
So, see, what happened was, Love, that once I started teaching on LinkedIn, okay, I started from LinkedIn, okay, unlike others who start on YouTube. I started on
राइट
LinkedIn. I was focusing on professionals who already have experience, because if you look at the information and cybersecurity industry today, most of the openings are for experienced professional. And when I did my CISSP, I came into the environment. I realized that CISSP is one great certification which all IT and information security professionals have. Because see, if I would like to have a CISO come into my organization, uh, I will just not hire or just not get someone who doesn't have exposure to various IT service management, various software systems, various infrastructures, which are required to run an organization. So when I, started that initiative in a freelance manner, I in fact conducted courses for free. Then slowly it started taking shape, and I said, look, if I want to reach out to more people, if I want to reach out to the masses, then it has to take some branding. Okay, I alone cannot, take this initiative forward. And moment I started forming a brand and I formed the academy, because then I realized that yes, academy becomes a proper institutionalized manner. I can
राइट
issue
राइट
certification, right? So
राइट
that was the main aim, and that's when you joined, Ajit joined, Debashish joined, SARS has also joined. So there are so many people now. We've become a community, right? We are
या
doing a lot
या
of good work. Okay,
या
and that was the main aim of forming the Protect Academy.
सर, अर्लियर यू वर इन आर्म फोर्सेस राइट? तो आर्म फोर्सेस से डायरेक्टली जंपिंग इनटू साइबर सिक्योरिटी, व्हाट केम इनटू योर माइंड? मतलब क्या था थॉट प्रोसेस?
सो लव ऐसा है कि आर्म्ड फोर्सेस का मतलब हम सिर्फ हथियार लेके लड़ाई नहीं करते हैं, है ना? क्योंकि
Okay.
टू रन आर्म्ड फोर्सेस यू नीड अ लॉट ऑफ सपोर्ट, ओके? इट्स नॉट ओनली द मैन हु कैरीज द वेपन, उसके पीछे टैंक्स होते हैं, उसके पीछे कम्युनिकेशन होता है, उसके पीछे लॉजिस्टिक्स होता है, ठीक है? और अगर आप देखें आर्म फोर्सेस को, इनफैक्ट इंडियन आर्म फोर्सेस वाज वन ऑफ द फर्स्ट organization to have a countrywide IP/MPLS network way back in 2003, when we didn't
Right,
have
right,
Geo or we didn't have Airtel. We had our beautiful IP/MPLS networks working on Nortel switches way back in 2003. That is when I did my CCNA. सो आर्म फोर्सेस का मतलब ये नहीं है कि सिर्फ हथियार लेके बॉर्डर्स पे लड़ाई करनी है। आर्म फोर्सेस को सस्टेन करना उस वही एक एक जंग है। सो उसको अगर आप देखें तो हम आई वाज फ्रॉम द कोर ऑफ सिग्नल्स, एंड Core of Signals is responsible for, integrating all the armed forces edge, entities into their own network. And moment you have a network, you have data traveling, moment you have information, moment you have people, processes, technologies, security becomes paramount, because your enemy countries would like to penetrate into your networks and would gather that information for battlefield advantage. So we were exposed to information security from the day we joined information, the armed forces. I joined armed forces way back in 2000. Okay, and that time, if you are aware, the you know the Y2K problem was being assessed, and it was the dot-com bubble at that point in
right,
time,
right,
and that is the
right,
time when viruses, malwares, started talking about how they
right.
can disrupt your network. So what happened was, once I came out of the armed forces, I was very well equipped for a lot of technology which is today is in use in the world outside. So,
Right.
and when I did my research, I found CISSP to be one of the gold standard certifications which can position you as an information and cybersecurity leader. So I did CISSP, and then I realized how I could shape up all that information and present it. My knowledge and my experience set was in a very segregated manner. The moment I did CISSP, it all fell into place. Okay,
Right,
so
right.
that was the reason that I came out from armed forces, and I chose information security and digital transformation as one of the verticals in which I decided to work.
स्टिल ना सर, अभी भी मतलब इट्स काइंड ऑफ वेरी डिफिकल्ट केस, समबडी जो आर्म फोर्सेस से कोई आ रहा है, इतना इतना पूरा अपना करियर स्पेंड करके, उसके बाद अगेन कमिंग इनटू अ साइबर सिक्योरिटी ऑल टुगेदर न्यू प्लेटफॉर्म, व्हाट मेड यू इजीली नेविगेट?
तो जैसा मैंने बताया लव, मेन आई विल से पहली बात तो एक्सपीरियंस था, ऑफ कोर्स काफी
राइट,
एक्सपीरियंस था। सिस्को 2650 स्विचेस डिप्लॉय किए, राउटर्स डिप्लॉय किए, we laid out the optical fiber network across the country. We had interacted with the industry, Airtel, Geo, BSNL. In fact, BSNL was the major entity which used to roll out our networks as our defense contractors. So
राइट,
it's not that we were completely away from the world. Okay, we were in touch with the world, but yes, it was a different world altogether. So जब नेविगेट करने की बारी आई, पहले लगा कि हाँ मुश्किल होगा, लेकिन once I did CISSP, once I interacted with people outside, I realized that probably somewhere down the line, armed forces had a more mature way of handling information security because of maybe two reasons. Firstly
राइट,
is the discipline, okay,
यस,
and secondly is the order mechanism. In armed forces, if you implement a policy, you have to implement it no matter what. Okay, there is
राइट,
no
राइट,
yes or no. Okay, it's only
राइट,
yes.
राइट,
So if you look at one of the initiatives which armed forces took around 2020 was to ban social media for all serving personnel, Facebook and other social media platforms where you can share information easily, because that was
ओके,
becoming a great vulnerability for naive soldiers who are not so well technically, understand the issues. So we had no other option but to ban social media. And to be frank, today, if you see, a lot of armed forces have banned social media for it. So it's not that we were completely unaware. We were aware. It's just that to put that experience set into the way in which the outside world works, uh, you know, made it easy. But then, of course, skilling up was required, and that's when I
Yes.
did a lot of certifications. And the best way to learn today, is certifications,
Right.
right?
Right. Right.
Today you do not know, don't need to go to a college, right? Me and you sitting here imparting our knowledge, the networks, these beautiful platforms, LinkedIn, the world has gone social, and we impart our knowledge to help others, right? At some point in time you feel like, let's help out others, and this is probably that time, and that led to founding Protect Academy. Okay, so I will say it was easy for me because I prepared well. So whenever you prepare well, okay, but that's teaching from army. Train hard. You train hard. If you sweat in peace, you will bleed less in the battle. So
Right.
cyber
Right.
resilience. So from where does cyber resilience come in? Cyber resilience come in. Train today. Train hard. Train hard. Evaluate all the circumstances that could happen, and if that happens in the real time, how you will react, what is it that you're going to do. So that is the resilience we're looking at building up in your processes, your people, and your technologies.
Right. Right, sir. And in today's environment, and especially in 2024, why cybersecurity is so critical. Everywhere now we are seeing, a very hype on cybersecurity. ऐसा क्या है cybersecurity के अंदर?
सो लव, साइबर सिक्योरिटी क्यों इम्पोर्टेंट हो रहा है अगर आप देखें तो पहली बात, हाउ डिड द वर्ल्ड बिकेम साइबर. अगर आप साइबर की इजाद देखें और यू लुक एट द बिगिनिंग ऑफ द साइबर टेक्नोलॉजीज, इट गोज टू late 80s, early 90s, when internet came into picture, right? Computing
Right.
was of course there starting in 1950s. Slowly, once the networks evolved, the जैसे जैसे network तेज होता गया, okay, what happened was, your computing speed, increased, and then you realize there was a lot of work. There is a lot of, your daily processes which could be carried out uh, by use of computational manners, right?
Right. Right.
And application built up, websites came in, applications came in, mobile phones came in, and what has happened today, your edge has become very, very powerful. Edge means the device in your hand, okay? And the device in your hand carries a lot of data, and this data goes to a lot of backend architectures on backend servers, on backend cloud, databases. You are handling a lot of data to run your business, to run your economies, to run your daily supplies, how electricity is coming to you, how oil and gas is coming to you. Everything is controlled by some sensors, some data, some network, some chip somewhere. And
Right.
it's so
Right.
vast, it's so vast, the problem statement is so vast. मुझे नहीं पता कि कहाँ से अटैक आ जाएगा. You look
Right.
at
Right.
what happened with the CrowdStrike, one of the most reputed companies in the EDR segment or XDR segment. So
Right.
CrowdStrike ने एक सॉफ्टवेयर बनाया है जो हर एंड पॉइंट को, हर कंप्यूटर को प्रोटेक्ट करता है. बट उन्होंने एक छोटी सी गलती की जहां पे शायद उन्होंने अपने एजेंट को अच्छी तरह टेस्ट नहीं किया. They didn't test their agent properly. Okay,
Right.
must be a
Right.
testing oversight, and then they pushed it into production. So what happened? Their agents tried to interact with the operating system in a manner which operating system saw as a threatening,
Right. Right.
something
Right.
called a dirty read, कि उसने
Right.
समझा कि शायद ये कुछ गलत कर रहा है और उसने शट डाउन कर दिया अपने आप को सेफ
Exactly.
मोड.
Exactly.
And
Right.
what happened, the consequence of that small incident was the computers will just not start.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
started manually. And what resulted from that small thing was global shutdown of major airlines and major, the banking systems affected. Whosoever
Right.
was using CrowdStrike, the systems just shut down, servers
Right.
just shut down, Azure services went down. Azure was using CrowdStrike as their EDR, and they shut down. So you see a small push by one developer somewhere put your global services into a lot of risk. So
Right.
it has become enormous, it has become interesting, and it has become our duty and responsibility to protect, because today you are transacting on internet, you have your device. I don't remember when was the last time I withdrew cash in last 3 to 4 years. All transactions have been through my mobile app.
Yes,
It's
yes,
I
yes,
don't really
yes,
remember. I have never done KYC by submitting a physical identity. I go to DigiLocker and
yes,
give my. So there is so much of data in the networks, behind in the cloud architectures, right? And it needs to be protected. Why? Because today, whatever you see, whatever economic boom you see, whatever it can be contributed to a large extent to internet. It has made our life easy, and it becomes our responsibility to protect that network, the resources behind, the human beings involved. World has gone social, so yes, you have to think about security from data perspective. And now the new era of AI comes in, machine learning comes in. uh, they learn from your data, they take on, they become, their IQ is now much better. Chat GPT's IQ is at par with Dr. Albert Einstein. So if that is the IQ of Chat GPT, imagine what it can do in years from now. So we have to protect our assets, we have to protect our interests, we have to protect our people, processes, and technologies to keep it secure. And that's one of the most important criteria.
right, right. ओके सर, एक चीज़ और पूछना चाहूँगा। आपको इतना इतना एक्सपीरियंस है, इतनी ज़्यादा आपको अंडरस्टैंडिंग है, हैंड्स ऑन आपने स्विचेस, राउटर्स, हर चीज़ पे कर रखा है ऑलरेडी, तो खाली CISSP क्यों सर? वाई ओनली यू टीच CISSP?
Uh, there is one reason, because see, information and cybersecurity is just not, it's a vast domain. So अगर आप साइबर सिक्योरिटी की बात करें, साइबर सिक्योरिटी है बेसिकली टेक्नोलॉजीज जो इंटरनेट और इंटरनेट से जुड़े हुए डिवाइसेस को प्रोटेक्ट करता है। अगर आपने इंटरनेट पे नेटवर्क पे काम कर रहे हैं, तो नेटवर्क सिक्योरिटी प्रोफेशनल्स होते हैं। सो देयर आर नेटवर्क
राइट,
सिक्योरिटी प्रोफेशनल्स हु आर प्रोटेक्टिंग द नेटवर्क। देन
राइट,
अगर आपके एंड पॉइंट्स है, सर्वर्स हैं, कंप्यूटर्स हैं, उनको प्रोटेक्ट करना है, तो आपको एंड पॉइंट सिक्योरिटी स्पेशलिस्ट चाहिए होता है। ठीक है, अगर आपको वल्नरेबिलिटी असेसमेंट और पेनिट्रेशन टेस्टिंग करनी है, तो उसके लिए VAPT प्रोफेशनल्स चाहिए होते हैं। ठीक है,
राइट,
अगर आपको आइडेंटिटी एंड एक्सेस मैनेजमेंट मैनेज करना है अपने ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का, आपको AD बिठाना है, उसको मैनेज करना है, तो IAM प्रोफेशनल। सो दीज आर स्पेसिफिक टू साइबर सिक्योरिटी टेक professionals, right? These are more hands-on people, which I was probably 25 years back. Okay, we were
ओके,
configuring devices, we were configuring the policies which were pushed on us, right? But once I grew up, and once I now look at from the perspective, I see those are cybersecurity technologies. You might have the best of cybersecurity technologies, but you will still end up having information security leakages if your manpower is not properly trained. Okay,
राइट,
आपने सबसे
राइट,
आपने सबसे अच्छा फायरवॉल लगाया है, सब कुछ बढ़िया है, लेकिन आप अपने एंड पॉइंट को पैच ही नहीं कर रहे हैं।
राइट,
आपके
राइट,
यूजर्स पासवर्ड रख रहे हैं ABCD 1 2 3 4, तो आप कितनी भी बढ़िया टेक्नोलॉजी लगा लीजिए, आप सिक्योर हो ही नहीं सकते। यू कैन नॉट बिकम सिक्योर नो मैटर व्हाट काइंड ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी यू पुट अक्रॉस, राइट? सो दैट्स
राइट,
वेरी
राइट,
इंपॉर्टेंट दैट you have understanding of the complete information security environment. And the only certification which is a technical plus management certification, was CISSP. And once I did that, I realized that this is one very important certification which can help out, other professionals in this particular field.
ओके, ओके। So can I say that it gives you a 360-degree holistic view about the entire cybersecurity domain?
Yes, yeah. Not
Okay.
cyber security, information security.
Information security completely.
Yes,
Right, 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 right,
it takes all the aspects of what are the considerations you need to have once you're operating in today's environment, and how you can make your organization maneuver in the information space today. That's the
right,
main, right? So, Love,
right.
you've been asking me a lot of questions. I also had a few questions for you. Okay,
Yeah, yeah,
you've
yeah,
joined
yeah.
us. You've joined us as our one of the lead GRC and ISO 27001 mentors. I would love to know, Love, what propelled you? आपको क्या पुश मिला कि आपने GRC की तरफ अपने करियर को, या अपने mentorship ko moda? Why did you take on the GRC mentorship role? Can I understand
Uh,
that?
हाँ, sure sir. तो just to begin with on that, मेरे को कोडिंग वगैरह नहीं आती सर. आई एम कम्प्लीटली नॉन ऑन साइड ऑफ कोडिंग्स. मेरे को कोडिंग नहीं आती. I'm not completely technical also. I never worked on switches and routers like you did, right? So I was searching for something in cyber security domain and information security domain where these coding skills are not needed, right? So it was a kind of a scare in my mind कि अगर coding करूँगा तो पता नहीं क्या होगा, you know. So I was from the initial thought process was like that. So I was searching for such a domain where coding was not required. That was the first criteria. And second thing was I don't have to work on switches and routers and all this, infrastructure hands-on. I never wanted that actually. I had complete understanding of that, but I never wanted to actually work on that, right? So these were two scares which I had in my mind, two fears in my mind. तो फिर मैंने ढूंढा what is that area, ऐसी कौन सी जगह है साइबर सिक्योरिटी में where I can easily skill up as well and help people as well and grow as well. So GRC was one domain, okay, governance, risk and compliance, where you need to have understanding about each and everything, but you don't have to do coding and all. That is not needed, first of all. Okay, it's a different field altogether where you need to know about policies, procedures, risk management, risk assessment, all the different compliances which are there. आज की डेट में sir, इतनी सारी compliances है, across the world. If somebody is able to understand even them, it's more than enough, I would say, right? So इसलिए this became a easily a grabbable thing for me, I would say, and especially for somebody who is non on coding side of things and non on highly technical side of things. I think it's a quick win, I would say, right? You just put in the effort. Definitely effort is required. Without hard work nothing is achievable, that's for sure. But you put in the hard work and then you will be able to and second thing was GRC is a managerial level, different roles that they have, which is entirely different from the technical side of things. So I was always inclined to go towards the managerial side of positions and all. So that's why GRC easily, came to me.
Right. So what you mean
Right.
to say is because you were not very technically experienced and
Yes.
you
Yes.
thought that information in cybersecurity is all about coding. Now,
Yes.
this is where I would like to, tell people that, information and cybersecurity is just not about coding, right?
Yes.
There is a lot of stuff which can, you can actually take on, and it's not about only coding. But at the same time, even if you are a GRC professional, you have to have technical understanding of what are the risks. Okay, so if you want to understand the risks, then you have to understand the technological risk. So it's not that purely you do not need to understand technologies. Of course, you are not sitting hand on and configuring something up. Configure nahi kar rahe hain kisi cheez ko. You are not, dealing with equipment which probably was your scare. Yeah, GRC,
Yes.
I
Yes.
understand.
Yes.
It's a
Yes.
managerial process, but even to keep a oversight on risks, you have to have technical understanding, and that's why CISSP, CISM, CISA, these are the certifications which help you navigate those
Definitely. Definitely, sir.
complex
Yeah.
topics,
Definitely.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I also see, love, that you are such a hit person on YouTube. I totally envy you. That why are you such a proponent of ISO 27001?
Yeah.
You keep saying 27001, 27001. Let's do this. Let's do that. What
Yeah.
propelled you to do 27001?
Yeah, I started back in 2017, sir. I was looking for something, कुछ ऐसा ढूंढ रहा था जहाँ पे कुछ ऐसा फ्रेमवर्क जो हर कोई इम्प्लीमेंट करता हो अक्रॉस द ग्लोब. आई वाज लुकिंग फॉर सम फ्रेमवर्क लाइक दैट. आई सर्च ऑन गूगल, काफी कुछ देखा, ऐसी कौन सी चीजें हैं. एनएसटी वाज आल्सो देन, आल्सो इट वाज देयर. सो ऑल बहुत सारी चीजें दिखी, लेकिन आईएसओ केम स्टूड आउट एक्चुअली, इन फ्रंट ऑफ एवरीबडी एल्स. ऐसा फ्रेमवर्क जो कोई भी कंपनी अडॉप्ट कर सकती है, ऑफ एनी साइज, ऑफ एनी टाइप. This was some kind of unique thing which I saw in ISO, right? So it kind of came to me like I should go for it. So definitely I started with 2017, and till now I think I've created more than 500 videos on ISO 27001. And in India, I would say that nobody would have done so much on ISO 27001 in the last 8 to 10 years mein maine kara hai. So worked on different projects and worked on different trained many students who are already placed in big fours and all. So yeah. So ISO 27001 it was always my passion. Yes, yes,
Yeah, so that's a great thing. Yeah, so I would like to throw a little bit light on ISO 27001. Actually,
yeah.
love, once the information security processes were understood, okay, ISO does some very great job. Now, ISO came back almost 30 years back with 7001. So 7001 was the base forming standard, and it's a
Right,
beautiful
right,
open standard. Okay,
right.
वो आपको कभी नहीं बोलता है कि आपको क्या डॉक्यूमेंट बनाना है, क्या करना है,
Exactly.
nothing.
That's the beauty. That's the beauty. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
it is your interpretation what you want to do.
Exactly,
There are few
exactly.
mandatory documentation which it says that you
Yes,
need to have this. It never
yes.
tells you how to make a risk register. It never
Yeah.
tells you how you manage your risk.
No.
It tells you if you want to manage risk, you can refer to ISO 31,000, but it doesn't tell you you have to. So
Exactly, exactly.
it's a voluntary standard, and that's what
Yes,
make ISO 27,001 a easy standard to adopt. You
yes,
know,
yes,
I think
yes.
probably after ISO 9001, ISO 27,001 today is the most talked about standard, right?
Definitely, definitely it is. Definitely it is. And
Right.
it has on top of that, for example, nowadays, अगर आपको privacy के लिए कुछ implement करना है, for example, if you want to implement PIMS, then also you need ISO 27001. It's a mandate for that. So it's basically something which is required nowadays. It's I would say a default standard right now. जो हर company like कोई भी startup अगर आज की date में start कर रहा है, so they are the first thing they are thinking is for let's go for ISO 27001. So it is a quick win.
Any digital startup, I will say, today
Yes,
I get
yes,
a lot of
yes,
response from a lot of queries from startups who say, hey, listen, we got a client in Europe, but they're saying, are you 27001 certified?
yes,
So
yes.
I see that a lot of times, a lot of startups coming up to me, help us getting the 27,001 certification.
And
So
this will increase, sir. And this will increase because in 2025 now we have a date. I think October 30th is the date. जहाँ पे जो 2013 वाले थे, they will be actually suspended after that date. So in
yeah, so
2025, everybody who is watching this video, this is a quick tip for you. ISO 27001 will be everywhere in 2025. You'll be getting a lot of projects. You'll be getting a lot of work. So 2025 is the year of ISO 27001.
no, it has to be because what has happened is agar aap regionally, if you look at all nations, right? If you look at Europe, Europe has come out with NIS standards, NIS 2.
Right, right,
Australia is driving its own information and cybersecurity frameworks by Australian Signals Division, ASD. Okay,
right,
if you look at Middle East, I've been to Middle East, a ruthless implementation of their local frameworks, whether in Saudi, whether in UAE, whether in Kuwait. Okay, they ruthlessly implement the frameworks. Okay, and if you look at all these frameworks, they are based out of 27,001 to be
yes,
frank,
they are. They are.
right?
They are.
Even somewhere down the line, I feel NIST CSF was also based out of ISO 27,001. They packaged it in a different manner, I guess.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
So I think, love, this is our introductory session, and we just wanted to tell a little bit about ourselves. Okay, and probably we will keep doing this more, bring out more knowledge areas for people to benefit. Okay, so let's close this down, and if you have any closing down words, we can
Thank you so much for your time, sir. I know how hard it is for somebody like you to spend time on podcast and all, and I know how much effort it took me for convincing you to come up on this stage. So I would like you to be continuing here so that sir actually लोग काफी क्वेश्चंस है लोगों के पास राइट लोग काफी कुछ चीजें जानना चाहते हैं सो अगर हम ये शुरू कर देंगे एज अ डेली लाइक इवन 30 मिनट्स इफ यू कैन स्पेंड सो आई थिंक पीपल विल गेट अ लॉट ऑफ नॉलेज फॉर एग्जांपल आज का जो ये वीडियो अगर कोई भी देखेगा he'll get easily good insights about cyber security ISO 27001 we have discussed so much so I think we should do it more often sir especially if you have time I know you're very occupied but
definitely,
still if you
definitely
can
love.
yeah yeah
Yeah, yeah. Our aim would be to do it daily or at least 2 to 3 times weekly.
yeah
Okay, and we will try to do that.
sure sure
So I think there are a few questions. I think I got a question from John. Thanks, guys. During initial stages, when you transition to corporate, example in terms of work culture, communication, etc. Yes, work culture was a bit of a shock, to be frank. In armed forces, we are more tuned to, having things in order, right? So if I've told you to get the work done, it gets done no matter what. Probably that culture is a little relaxed in corporate, right? We do not, and especially when you deal with youngsters, right? Today's Gen Z. Okay, I've seen Gen Zs taking break. Oh, I'm not in a mental health condition to work today. So this was an eye-opening excuse for me, which was like, okay, something like this also happens. So yes, initially I had to observe a lot. I had to absorb a lot. I had to do a lot of unlearning. I gave up my military ways, but you see, my language is still a lot of military, and it carries that the military accent. So what I'll say is yes, you have a lot of unlearning to do. You need to learn from everyone. I feel the youngsters today have a lot to teach us. I've learned a lot from them. Technically, very very sharp guys, and girls, and you need to learn a lot from them. I found some very beautiful, people. One of them was Shweta. Shweta, I learned patience from her. I was a very impatient guy. I need the work done quickly, man, no matter what. But so there was my colleague Shweta, when we were working for a UK firm. She taught me, let's be patient, and you learn from others. So we learn to be patient. Because in armed forces we always think about life, saving lives. So any decision impacts life. So for us, every decision is very critical. We think so. Our mindset becomes like that. So yeah, I tried to relax myself. More yoga, more breathing, more. I hope, John, I have answered your question. Right. There's another question by Vinesh. Sir, if a company which has already implemented ISO 27013, how easy or difficult is for them to migrate to ISO? Yeah, Love, I think you would like to take on this question.
Yeah, it's not difficult as such. You can get in touch with us as well. We are also helping a lot of companies migrating and implementing ISO 27001 as well. Vinesh, you can do that as well. It's not that difficult, but definitely you need to be able to have someone who is already implemented 2022 in a lot of companies. You need some type of consultant for that role. You do not need somebody who is naive, who is starting it for the first time. Definitely it will be a catastrophe. Okay, so look for somebody who has already done it 2022. That would be easy win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, Vinesh, you will have to create mappings. So you have to
Yes.
understand that 27,013 had 113 controls, if I'm not wrong,
14.
and
114.
114 controls,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
2022 has 93 controls. You will
93.
have to
Yeah.
create mapping. So there will be a lot of overlaps, which you have
There
to
are.
assess. I don't think
Yeah.
it's going to be difficult. It's not going
No.
to be difficult, but you need a mature consultant to
That's
get it
what.
done.
Yeah. That's what. Right. 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 Because
You
because
you
there are
may not be able to do it yourself. Yeah.
exactly because there are 11 new controls as well, and somebody who is not aware of those controls, it would be difficult.
Right. Any other questions, anyone? Right. So I think, Love, let's call it a day. And
Yeah.
it was our introductory podcast. Let's hope we
Yeah.
are able to do this more often to
Sure.
for the benefit of others. Right.
Sure,
Anything
sir.
else?
Sure. No, it was a great, sir. It was great to speak with you. It was great to spend time, and I also learned a lot today. Yeah.
There's another question. Good morning, sir. I'm preparing CISSP, follow ISC to book, but still not getting a confidence for exam. Kindly suggest practice test. I always say that practice test will not make you pass CISSP. What will make you pass CISSP is, can you debate each and every term. So if I ask you, why do you need third party risk management? So if you answer that I need third party risk management because moment I outsource or I contract my work to a third party, there are going to be risks. And can I evaluate those risks? When I ask you what is a covert channel and can you apply the knowledge of covert channel to your general, your normal life? Okay, can you relate that? So CISSP, if you want to pass CISSP, the best practice set is ISC2 fourth edition official practice test. but only doing the practice test will not make you pass CISSP. Let me tell you very clearly. You have to understand the concepts deeply. You have to apply. You should be able to apply those concepts, and that's why CISSP is a gold standard. Okay, so why I say that is because unless you understand the concepts fully, okay, you will not be able to apply those when the exam comes, because exam is adaptive. Okay, it is not a set of 20 questions which come and you can pass. No, it doesn't have any memory bank or any dumps. This exam is adaptive in nature, so you will have to prepare thoroughly. You have to understand each and every concepts very, very thoroughly.
Yeah. Sir, I had a follow-up question on that. A lot of students nowadays, in colleges, in their final semesters, are looking forward towards cybersecurity, and they are following me as well. So I get this question very often, sir. Why should we go for a certification after getting a complete degree into computer science and all? How would these certifications help us as individuals? And the second question is, they always say that any job that they see in cybersecurity is always an experienced, job. So how would a fresher or an intern would actually be able to, crack these jobs? These are two questions which I get very often, sir.
So actually, love, it's a myth that freshers don't get roles. Of course, the problem is if I want to hire a fresher, I have to train them, right? Because
Yes.
colleges,
Yes.
today's education system probably uh, is not tuned to the requirements of the industry. To be frank, okay,
That's true. That's true.
the only way you can understand what the industry wants is through certification. To be frank,
Right.
okay,
Right.
because the academia probably also has not been able to understand the complete scope of information in cybersecurity, unlike core science subjects, core subjects in commerce, or core subjects in literature, or core subjects. The academia has not been able to understand the requirements of the industry because it has moved in such a large pace that the academia could not catch up. The
Right.
only I will say institutions who caught up were the certification industry because they came from the industry. So that's how if you see ISC2, CompTIA, EC Council, okay, they came to forefront because they could, they were not tied up in bureaucracy. They could bring up more content, more education, more knowledge, which is latest, which
Right.
meets the requirement of the industry. And that's why certifications became an important part of mainly information and cybersecurity industry. Second is experience. Yes, to a large extent, I will say yes, it is prevalent. So that's why freshers should seek initially a support role, desk role, admin roles, okay, to understand how organizations work, right? And uh, there are a lot of institutions which are coming up with internship. Now, what happens once they do certification? They get a upper edge. So, say if I am
Right.
a fresher
Right.
and I am
Right.
a fresher with a BTech degree or a graduate degree, and I during my college days I did CompTIA Security Plus, okay, and then I asked for an internship from someone, right? No company doesn't, all companies offer internship. I have offered internship to so many students, right?
Right.
So
Right.
if I've done CompTIA Security Plus, I have that base. So once I have that base and I tell you, and I keep them as an intern, I get at least some exposure. So internship and certifications combinations gives you that small perspective where a big company can hire you for a small role, SOC analyst level one or a cybersecurity analyst level one. So problem is not with the industry, and problem is
Right.
not with students, and problem is not with the academia. I will say it is
Right.
just the mm, understand mixture of all three. Probably industry should mix with academia, academia should mix with industry, and we should tell the institutions, the academia, as to what you should do. Okay, and
Right. Right.
that bridge is provided by certifications.
Right. 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 Thank you, sir.
Right, I think we will call it a day. We
Yeah.
had a lot of interaction, right? And
Yeah. Yeah.
we will start off, Monday we will have to start off with our Monday blues.
Yeah. Right, sir.
Right,
Thank you so
thanks
much,
thanks
sir.
for
Thank
this.
you.
Yeah, yeah, this is a great interaction, love. I hope
Yeah.
we are able to get more people on board and join our initiative.
Sure.
Right,
Sure,
thank you
sir.
so much. Take care, guys. Bye bye. And there's someone on YouTube, Feel Your Feeling. We carry out some nice training. You can join our community, and we do have a lot of, we have a free course on crash course on CISSP on our website. It is, I'll just type it out, it's learn.protect.io. You can go and join the online course, which is completely free. Okay, and just see how we navigate CISSP. Right. Thank you so much, Love, and
Thank you, sir.
it was great talking to you. Okay. Let's
Same here,
see.
sir.
Let's find some more time sometimes.
Sure. Thank you, sir.
Right. Take care. Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Bye bye.